And I do love summer. I love summer, so I'm looking forward to some outdoor concerts and cornhole and
you like
that.
Summer because after summer comes fall.
Actually, if we could have football in the summer, it'd be ideal, right? It'd be the best of both worlds for me.
Yeah.
So I like warm weather. What I can tell you about the Zestimate to our public is that there's no human behind it. It's all data driven. The Zestimate doesn't know that house has 10 cats living in it, right? They don't know that.
Exactly.
So they might pull the data from the city and it's a 2,500 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, and it should be going for just say $240,000. But do they know that there's mold in the basement and 10 cats running around? And it smells like pets. But Zillow does not know that, right?
It's a great example. Good way of putting it. It's my time of the podcast to throw some people under the bus like I normally do.
We got to come up with a segment name for this segment.
We got
to come up with a name for this segment.
Oh, we will. We will.
Under the bus with David Underwood. Welcome, everyone, to the Real Estate Tailgate. I am Mike Mitchell with Berkshire Hathaway Key Realty, alongside with my partner, David Underwood with Top Flight Financial.
Hey, everyone. Hey.
What's going on, David?
Same old, man. Different day. We're moving along May
15th today.
Yeah, already.
Mid-May already.
Yep. And we are so glad that we're back together today. And what you got to say, man? What's been happening?
Market's kind of crazy, out showing homes, lots of buyers. But the big thing is, tonight is.
Oh, yeah.
NFL schedule release.
The schedule time.
Oh,
I can't wait. The times, yep. Curious to see what games the Lions are going to get, what primetime games.
Yeah.
Who they're going to play on Thanksgiving. I'm hoping they have a primetime game for the opening weekend. They've announced most of them except one. The Sunday night game's still out there.
Oh,
for the opening weekend. So I'm hoping that's us.
Maybe.
Us versus Frisco.
Ooh.
Some people want to see us versus the Bears, but I think a rematch would be cool. Seems like they like to do those rematches, the NFL.
Yep, from the playoffs or something.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a thought. Well, I guess it's only hours before we know for sure.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I got to throw this out there because I'm ready to tailgate. I'm ready for a football tailgate. In 112 more days until the opening game. September 5th, the Ravens at the Chiefs. Wow. Thursday night football.
Oh, wow.
So I know everyone's just getting ready for summer, and I'm just counting down for football season.
Yeah, man, I'm surprised you just didn't bring up the Tigers or something. But, the Tigers are hanging, but they're barely hanging.
I've been watching the hockey playoffs. I've been kind of paying attention to the Tigers a little. Yeah, I think they won last night, so I think they're over 500 again. But
yeah, they've been right around 500.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just football's my passion. But
I know. And even speaking of the Tigers, though, it's I will say this. I know we've talked a little bit about this before, but I'm noticing, they're really doing a solid job of keeping the games close. They're not blowouts anymore.
The pitching's been phenomenal.
Yes, we can finally close out a game.
We just can't get any runs.
Yeah, pitching's been great for the most part. We were rocking there for a while, and then we had a few series against some really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I think like you said, we hung pretty well in those games for the most part.
And like I said, even through the losses, it's been close.
Yeah,
it's been very close. I'd rather it be close than have it be a blowout like it's been in the past. So.
Yeah, and I think everyone's known from the beginning that we need some bats.
Yeah, we do need.
I gotta get down there. And check out a game. It's always a good time, right?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I'll definitely go to a couple games this summer.
And I will give a plug to Comerica and this one spot in particular, K-Line Corner. It's the best place to watch the game.
I think you told me that before. You said that's your favorite spot.
Yeah, it's you got a good view. There really is no bad view in Comerica, but At the K-line corner, yeah, it's good, great view, solid pricing, like very, very fair. So I'm happy about that. So
Yeah, I know, Mike, you have football running through your veins, but we know that any day at Comerica Park is a great day.
of course,
Oh yeah, no, I enjoy going to the baseball game. Have a couple beers, a hot dog, watch the Tigers.
Yes.
No, it's a good time. So, and I do love summer. I love summer, so I'm looking forward to some outdoor concerts and cornhole and
You like
festivals and
you
all
like
that.
summer because after summer comes fall.
Actually, if we could have football in the summer, it'd be ideal, right? It'd be the best of both worlds for me.
Yeah.
So I like warm weather.
that's right.
I should be a Southern boy.
Well, I mean, not to keep going on and on about it, but have you been keeping up with the summer league, the UFL? Because the Michigan team's been doing really well.
I have to be honest, I have not.
Yeah, they've been doing really well.
Not at all.
And I think I mentioned this before, but that kicker that we
I
have,
was going to say, the only thing I heard about all this was the kicker.
the kicker is a rock star. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't.
We'll see, though. It's not the NFL, though. But, I mean, it could be.
Yeah, well.
What was that one kicker? He had a funky name. What did they call him? He was like a YouTube star.
Oh, I know. Who you're
Remember a
talking
couple
about.
years ago?
I can't think of it.
I know he wasn't a pro. Like, this is semi-pro or whatever. But who was that kicker? Remember? I can't think of his name.
We're all stumped. I can't
Yeah.
think of the name. I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
It was
You
like
got
a
all the
YouTube star.
videos,
Yeah. But never made it to the NFL.
But you know that this Michigan.
But I'm not comparing this kicker to that because this kicker's a pro, obviously. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard he's doing really well. I haven't watched him. I heard that kicker.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd throw that out there. The
Doing
team
good.
is doing well. I think they're like second place in division, and I mean, there's not a ton of teams in that league, whatever. But it's good to know that they're doing good. That they're repping Michigan very well.
Yeah.
Are they playing at Ford Field?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't. I gotta confess, I haven't paid that much attention to them. But Michigan team, I'm glad they're doing good.
Always good to
Right?
hear when a Michigan team does well.
And you know what else today is? May 15th. It's National Slider Day.
oh,
Ooh.
White Castles for lunch?
Yeah,
Who wants
yeah.
a slider for lunch?
yeah.
Okay,
a
not
slider?
that.
You can't have a slider.
Oh man, White Castles are great once in a
I
while.
love White Castle.
Hate White Castle.
Love them.
But any slide, I mean, now they got all kinds of slider joints,
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that up because I wasn't aware, and might have to make some plans to get some sliders later today.
I know. That's what I'm thinking. Dinner might be sliders.
Yeah.
Or lunch.
So what's going on with the market? How are the rates?
How are the rates? The magic question that I
Magical question.
get many times a day. I mean, rates have been the same. This is a boring time for rates, and unfortunately, it's going to be a boring time for rates all year. And what I mean by that is we don't foresee any drastic drop or rise in rates. They've been kind of seesawing a little up and a little down and kind of holding the same. But as we always say, it's not all about the rate, right?
You got that right. So, yeah, the market's kind of the same way. Nothing much changed. Seller's market, low inventory. Been out showing a lot of homes the past couple of weeks. A lot of multiple offer situations, a lot of highest and best. So it's crazy. And home prices are climbing. They're not dropping at all. They are climbing. So I thought today we talk about pricing a home, how to get it priced right.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel like there should be Bob Barker music playing.
So the first thing I would say is everyone always asks me, there's no magic formula to price a home. There's nothing I punch in my phone like X plus Y equals Z, and your house is worth this. But it's so crucial to get your house priced right, because even in a seller's market, even in this market, you can get away with if you underpriced it or if your agent underpriced it, because it'll correct itself, obviously, because the market, because there's bidding wars. But if you overprice it, even in this market, it'll hurt you. I still see that to this day. So any house you see in the market, it's been in the market over 30 days, it's either overpriced or there's something or condition,
Exactly.
right? Or both. So that's the important thing about getting it priced right. So the other thing, people always say, well, your agent priced this. Well, if you get it, once you get a price right, an agent prices it right, but we don't set the prices. The seller doesn't set the prices. The agent don't set the prices. The market sets the prices.
Well, you're talking about the true price.
The true price.
Yeah,
the market. The market. So we could set the asking price.
Mm-hmm.
But the true price is what a ready, willing, and able buyer will pay for a home.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, as a realtor, I'm sure, you've run across situations where, you've done an assessment, you've given advice to a seller client, but the seller wants to list it higher. That's something for you guys to discuss, but sometimes you have that seller that wants to list it higher, whatever the reason, either because they think it's worth more or they want to start high, and you know what I mean? So you as a professional, you got to kind of tell them the pros and cons of overpricing a home.
Absolutely. Because in the end, when you overprice a home, it hurts you. It'll hurt your value. You would have got more to begin with. If you start doing multiple price reductions, you're going to get less than if you would have listed it at fair market value. I'm talking that's kind of like the old school, like my parents would say, well, it's 100,000. Well, let's list it at 120 and see what happens. If they like it, they can make an offer. That's drastically overpriced. 20,000 overpriced is extreme. And with the technology and the information everyone has, buyers, they're on Zillow and all these sites, they know that they know they can tell when it's overpriced. They're looking for homes in Grosse Pointe Park, and they've been looking online for a while, and all of a sudden they see one that's 40,000 higher. They're like, and that looks just like all the others. They're gonna be like, oh God, they're asking too much, right? So
exactly.
Buyers are smart now, so they know what's going on. Then there's always the Zestimate, right? The dreaded the Zillow.
What?
The Zillow Zestimate.
Oh yeah, we love the Zestimate, don't we?
I actually do. It doesn't bother me. I know a lot of agents gripe about it. So what I can tell you about the Zestimate to our public is that there's no human behind it. It's all, it's all data driven. I've seen Zestimates plus or minus sometimes $80,000. Sometimes they're spot on the value. I've seen them where they're like 80 to 100,000 off on high end homes, and I've seen them where they've been 40,000 under on some homes. Like it's crazy. So there's no human element to it. The little thing I like to always say about the Zestimate is that Zillow, the Zestimate doesn't know that house has 10 cats living in it, right? They don't know that.
Exactly.
So they might pull the data from the city, and it's a 2,500 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, and it should be going for, just say, $240,000. But do they know that there's mold in the basement and 10 cats running around? And it smells like pets.
No, that's a great example.
Nothing against cats or cat people, but
but
Zillow does not know that, right?
It's a great example. It's a good way of putting it. And I don't really have a problem with the Zestimate either. The reason I made the comment about it, loving Zestimates, is just like you said. There's some agents that will really just say, Zestimate, whatever. To me, it's just like any tool that's out there. Like you said, there's so much information on the internet.
I agree. It's a good tool.
Yeah, as long as you understand it, it's not
accurate.
It's not going to be accurate. It gives you an idea because it's based on data and algorithms that they have.
Algorithms, that's the word.
Yeah. Sometimes it's going to be off. And especially now, because of the lack of inventory, and you don't have as many homes. Usually when there's more homes sold in a smaller area, you get a little bit more accurate data.
Yeah.
But because there's not as many homes, you just have to really be careful at what you're looking at online, and just use it as a guide. Use it as kind of a guide. I always tell people, I tell clients, there's nothing wrong with looking at the information, but if you're a buyer, first of all, you should be working with a really good buyer's agent. A realtor that's a licensed agent, that's a buyer's agent, like Mike. And if you see a house that you like on Zillow, bring it up and have a conversation with your professional agent and discuss it. When you go see it or something, you can say, yeah, I saw it on Zillow, and Zillow said it's worth $240. What are you thinking, Mike? Ask them. Ask your agent,
Yep.
And because your agent will have some tools that it can use. So maybe you should touch on that.
Absolutely. And like I said, I embrace Zillow. So, I check on the Zestimates because I know my clients are going to, right? Because I know they looked at it. So I want to know what it is.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's not accurate, but I'm curious. So if Walter calls me and says, "Hey, Mike, I want to sell my home. Give me a price. What do you think it's worth?" I know he's already looked on Zillow, right? So I want to know what Zillow is saying. I'm not going by that, but I want to know because that's already in his mind. So if they're way high or way low, I'm just curious. I want to know where they're at too. So it's a good tool. It's a conversation starter to me, right?
Yeah, and I'll say, look, have a conversation with your agent. Your agent has the ability to, has a tool that they can use called the CMA. Why don't you talk about that, Mike?
Yeah. Real quick, what you said about the less comparables in the area because of this market. I ran some comps for a buyer this past weekend. We were thinking about putting an offer in, wanted to make sure, it's not, the area wasn't way overpriced. And when I went to run comps, there wasn't anything within a square mile. Mm-hmm. Not one in the last 6 months have closed because the inventory is so low. So that's where, So, you've got to start stretching it. So market analysis. That's what agents do. That's what we do when we're gonna price your home or we're gonna sell your home. It's called the comparable market analysis. What is it? Side by side comparison of homes in your neighborhood similar to yours. And similar, I mean basically square footage, bedrooms. The foundation is on a basement or a crawl, and then you want to look at what's closed, what's sold in the last 90 days to 6 months. Now, that's what an appraiser does. They're more about the closed. What I like to look at is the pendings. Pendings means it's sold, it's under contract. I don't know what they got yet. No one knows. It's not public. But you can read between the lines. If they're asking $200,000, it was pending in 3 days in the market. You know darn well they got their price, if not over. So, but that's kind of more an even closer true shot of the market right there. So a lot of people always ask me too, they go, "Oh, well, the neighbors got their house up for $250, so mine's nicer than theirs." Everyone's is always nicer, right?
Oh, always.
And I'll look at it. I'm like, well, yeah, but your neighbor's is a 2,000 square foot colonial and yours is a 900 square foot ranch. That's apples to oranges. So,
yep.
So would you agree?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, as far as a CMA goes, it's not like you're going to do a CMA for every single home. And that's another reason why you want to use an experienced agent. Okay. Most agents that are experienced, and I don't mean that they have to have been doing it for 25 years.
No.
What I mean when I say experienced means that they have hustled for any length of time that they've been working as a licensed realtor, that they're hustling, they're out there. Most agents have certain areas where they concentrate on, and they have a good feel for those neighborhoods.
Market knowledge.
Market knowledge. They're doing business there. They're in tune with that those certain neighborhoods, so that if you as a buyer, you're looking at a home in a certain neighborhood, and your agent can already have a feel and say, hey, whether or not this is priced about right, whether or not it's overpriced, whether or not this is going to go quick.
Absolutely.
It's listed on a Thursday, and that's why I wanted to bring you out here to see this house, because it's probably going to be gone by Monday morning. You know what I mean? They'll be able to give you those little insights and help you out.
Absolutely.
Which a lot of it, like you said, it has to do with pricing. It has to do with pricing because when you as a buyer go to, I know you were talking more about like as a seller pricing a home, but as a buyer.
Yeah, no, you're spot on though.
Yeah,
I do the exact same thing for buyers.
Yep, you got to keep that in mind, because when you work with your agent to strategically put in an offer, then you have to take all those things in consideration.
And then, I hate to say it, but this market is so crazy. Even sometimes when I walk in without researching it, just walk in just based on my market knowledge. I'm working with a buyer, and I think to myself, oh, I think their price kind of high. And lo and behold, I get the notification like 8 hours later, multiple offers, highest and best due Sunday at 8 o'clock. So,
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, they're not. So this market's so crazy, even when some of them I think are slightly high without doing any research, but that's how this market is because the prices keep going up.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy market.
For sure. So I don't know. I think we covered that pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I think that was something that needed to be brought up, and I think we touched on it both from the selling and the buying viewpoint. As far as comparables, I just wanted to touch on one thing. We use the term comparables. All the comparable is comparable is a home that's sold recently that's used as data to help determine an approximate value of the home that you're looking at, which in our industry we would call it the subject property.
Subject property and comps.
Yep.
Some people hate the word comps, but it's an industry term.
Hey, but it's part of reality.
Yeah.
Because most people that buy a home, or even from a seller, you need to understand this, that buyer, most people are going to get financing. And when they get financing, they're going to have to get an appraisal. And the appraisal, the core data that's used for the appraisal is based on comps or comparables.
And what the market's been in the last 90 days.
Exactly.
Whereas we're more in tune, the realtors, we're out there right now. Like, we're kind of predicting what it's going to be or what it is today.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's good that you brought that up, because sometimes there is a little bit of a curve one way or the other.
Yeah. I like to say, like, it doesn't keep up with it, or it hasn't caught up with it.
Sometimes the data is a little behind
Yep.
what's actually going on in the market.
Yeah,
so you got to kind of keep that in mind. Especially in the market like we're in right now.
Sure.
I mean, and the season. Like you said, prices are going up, right?
Yep. They're continuing to not jumping like huge, but they're not dropping. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I get so many people go, I'm going to wait till it drops, prices drop. I'm like, I don't see that happening. Is that an important call? Sorry, I forgot to turn my ringer off.
That's all right. I think I
busy realtor.
That was great. It just means that you got clients that need you.
Hey, at least it wasn't the fire alarm. So we don't have to stop recording.
So, like you said, comparables. It's important to keep in mind too the comparables within the same location, the size, the features, condition, and the updates. So, because you could have two side-by-side ranches the same square foot, but if one's completely updated, all these updates and improvements, and the one next door is 1960, nothing's been done to it, that's, you can't compare it. So you got to look elsewhere. It's really an art form. You got to do your research, your market research, and pricing a home when you're listing it. It's kind of an art form, market knowledge, market research, experience. But even without knowing the market, you can look at the data, and if you preview the home, don't let an agent give you a price on your house as you're selling it if they haven't been in your house. Please don't do that. Let them look at the house, because I don't know how anyone can sell a house or price your house without looking at it, because they don't know that there's 10 cats living there neither.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I just want to throw that out there.
Unfortunately, in this market, because of the lack of inventory, it's my time of the podcast to throw some people under the bus like I normally do.
We got to come up with a segment name for the segment.
We got
to come up with a name for the segment.
Oh, we will.
Under the bus with David Underwood.
I just see, unfortunately, I see the laziness out there with some realtors. And once again, nothing against the realtors that are out there doing their job like they should be. But like you said, there's realtors out there that just think, because of the market, because of the lack of inventory, whatever, as long as I don't way overprice this house, I'm good to go, because there's going to be a ton of offers anyway. You know what I mean? I kind of see that attitude based off of what I see sometimes.
Have you? I don't know if I see that attitude, but I know what you're saying.
Well,
I mentioned it. I said, well, if you underpriced it, not on purpose, but like you did your work research, and still everyone's not always accurate, or it's an opinion too. If you underprice a home, though, it's going to correct itself, so you don't have to worry about leaving money on the table for your seller.
But that's what I mean, and when I say I see it, it's
I do. You know what? I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
I do see it now. I just thought of an example.
Yeah. So but like I said, for the most part, the biggest thing to remember is what Mike said earlier. the market really dictates the price.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to listing a price, that's just what you get. You do the best you can to try to list it near what you think the market's going to dictate.
And you should still get multiple offers. And I think that's what you're alluding to. So if they list it low, they're going to get like 20 and 30 offers, which is ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they would list it more where it should be, what the market's telling you to, they're still going to get multiple offers. It's just not going to be 30 because you're not way underpriced.
Yeah, and I would think that you would have more solid offers to sift through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I've had listings where I've had 15, 20 offers. It's a lot of work to go through all those offers. If you're doing your due diligence to your seller, you got to go through, read all those offers, do net sheets on all of them, pick out, and then kind of narrow it down to the top 5, and then go through those with your sellers. That's a lot of work. You don't need 20 offers. I need one offer, one good offer.
There you go. The magic offer. Hey, how we doing on time, Doc?
We are at 26 minutes. So yeah, you guys are doing great.
Okay, perfect, man. I think it's time to wrap this one up. I think
that's a wrap. We got to come up with a ending like a
song and dance.
Like remember the gratuitous rock star? Thank you.
I'll bring my pom-poms next time.
I'll hold you to that.
All right. This is a wrap for the Real Estate Tailgate. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Don't forget to go on our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Anything else to add, David?
Yeah, how can people get a hold of you, Mike?
Oh, that would help, right? Mike Mitchell, call or text 586-291-2652.
And for me, Dave Underwood, Top 5 Financial, best way to reach me is to text or call 248-219-3457, or you can just Google David Underwood Mortgages. Until next time,
take care, everyone.
See ya.